Hi there, and welcome to Walk the Bandana Man. Today's walk's a medium hike of about 3 hours, and it takes us from the small but popular resort of Cala Blava along a clifftop path to the recently developed urbanisation of Maris de Cima. From there, we'll drop down virtually to the sea line, pick up a well-defined coastal path that will lead us all the way back to the clifftop via an old military staircase. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. It not only gives you perfect views, but it takes you along one of the most dramatic coastlines on the whole of the island. So, let's get out there.
If you take the bus, this is the bus stop in Cala Blava that the 504 to Toyeric stops at. And if you decide to drive, then you'll find parking along the same road. The name of the road is Mer de Déu de Begoña. So, to start, we cross to the left-hand side of the roundabout and follow the Carrer de Son Granada to the end, where you will find the first electricity substation. You turn right here and go down the track. Eventually, after a few minutes, you will see an exit on the left that leads to a cul-de-sac. Cross this cul-de-sac diagonally right, and you should see a track that leads to a set of descending steps. Go down the steps, arriving at a dried up torrent. Cross the torrent and ascend the steps opposite. Exit on the track that leads to the road junction. On reaching the road, turn left, and in about 30 metres you should see this on the right. Go down this track, and after a few minutes it will open up to this. A couple of minutes more and you will reach the second of these.
So, after about 15 minutes from walking from the bus stop, you'll come to this electricity substation. You're working your way through this terrain here. We're aiming for those trees up there, and then we can pick up a path from there. Yep. So, when we reach this T-junction here, we need to go right towards the sea.
These are houses, villas and hotels above the Cala Blava. It gets very busy in the summer, but they have a beautiful view into Palma Bay.
So, eventually the track will widen, and we'll be on this track probably for the next 5-10 minutes until we hit a road. What a beautiful day this is on the southeast coast. At the moment, I should think at 20 past 11, the temperature at least 15 degrees, and by 2 o'clock it'll hit the 20s. January the 15th. It's not bad, is it? So, after about a half an hour, you'll come to this road. We just need to cross this road, go right, and then almost immediately left to a crossing in the wall, and then we're on the track. Yeah, and this type of terrain is with us for pretty much the next hour and a half until we start to descend to the sea. So, after 5 or 6 minutes of leaving the road, you'll come to the first of your wall crossings. So, about 5 minutes after the first wall, come to our second wall crossing, and we need to go right towards the coast. Okay, so we go along this wall for a little bit, only probably about 50 metres, and then we turn right at the corner. After a few minutes from leaving that wall, just step onto the rocks on the top of the cliffs and look back to Palmer Bay. What a beautiful, beautiful coastline. And look at that sea. Crystal clear.
Four or 5 minutes after leaving the third wall, at about 55 minutes into the walk, you may see a cleft in the cliff top near to this small cairn. This is a significant place on your walk because this is where the old military staircase brings you back up from the end of the coastal path to this point. And from here you can retrace your steps back to either the bus stop or your car.
Yeah, just after that fourth wall, you need to go right between these two bushes and get on the more coastal path and stay on the coastal path. Don't get drawn inland. And from this coastal path, you come across views like this. Fantastic. So, we've arrived at this fork in the path here. What we need to do again is go to the coastal route. So, we're coming to another little split in the path here. We need to take the right and go over there. After about an hour and 10 minutes into the walk, you'll come across this, our first inkling of urbanisation. It's a beautifully, albeit run down a bit, positioned villa right on the cliff tops. How wonderful. What sort of views must that command? So we need to make our way around the back of this little outhouse here, and we'll gradually come into a forested area. Again, a couple of minutes after we went round the back of the villa, we've hit this fork in the path. We need to still go right. And then about 10 meters after we've gone right, we need to go right again and start to drop down a little bit. We're actually dropping down here through a gap in an old fence, which will take us onto the path through the forest. Okay, here you have a choice. If you want to get down to the coastal path quicker, you can head down there, or if you want to go to Maoris-Dathema, like I'm going to go up that way, you head across, you contour across this top path. Yeah, by taking the top path, yeah, it can be it's a little bit more tricky, but not too bad. And brings you right out into the open here, where you can have a choice of either going down to the coast or going into Maoris-Dathema if you want to find a bar or something. About an hour and 20 minutes gets you to these concrete steps. If you want to go left, you'll go up to Maoris-Dathema. If you turn right, you go down and you'll attach yourself to the diagonal path which goes down towards the coastal path. Once you come off the end of the concrete steps, you find this path which you will follow diagonally down to the right all the way until you pick up a significant coastal path. So after about 10 minutes of coming down, I've finally reached what I call the true coastal path, which is now going to go parallel with the coastline. Beautiful, beautiful coastline. After a while, just turn around, look back at that coastline we've come along. How beautiful is it? I mean, industrial, yes, but still extremely beautiful.
Scattered all along this southern coastline from Col d'En Rabassa to Santagny, you will see many areas and rock formations like these that look somewhat unnatural, with corners, blocks and straight faces. You'd be right, as these areas are the old quarries where Mallorca's most common building stone, morass, was extracted. Morass is highly compressed marine sand, a type of sandstone, which was and still is used in construction work, and it was used in the construction of Palma Cathedral and its ancient walls, and also in the construction of Blava Castle.
What you mustn't do is get pulled up thinking that that's the way you've got to go up to get out, which it's not. It is indeed, you go across that headland there on a little path that you'll be able to pick out once you get closer. So just looking back, we've just crossed that little re-entrant there, and we're coming up the headland on quite a decent path, and it goes off up to about 40 meters above the sea, and then we'll go around the edge. So we're getting a bit of speed up now along it. The path is rather flat now and undulates a little bit, but you can definitely get some speed up along here. Quite pleasant. So in the distance there you can see that the path goes over another one of these little peninsulas that stick out into the sea. So as I say, don't get drawn up to the right to go up until there is no more path. That will denote when you go up, and you'll clearly see military steps. This little wall here is significant. If you haven't seen this, you've gone up too early. You've got to cross this, okay, on the coastal path. Let's go.
Okay, once we've reached the third headland, this is the one that we don't cross. You'll recognise it by the sheer quarried face. The path we're on stops just before the headland, and you will see the military staircase start to ascend on the right hand side.
So here we are, we've arrived at the end of the path. If we look down there, there is a little path that goes down, but I think it just goes down to the cove. There's that sheer quarried face I was talking about, and if we just look right, there we have these beautiful stone steps, the old military staircase. Hey, this is quite clever. Next sort of 30 or 40 metres of this, it's carved out of one piece of rock. That is quite clever. So here we are, final push to the top.
And that's about it. Once we get to the top, all that's left is for us to retrace our steps back to the bus stop or your car. I think you need to allow about 3 hours to complete this walk, and I think you'll agree that this walk features one of the most dramatic coastlines in the island. I really hope you have enjoyed this walk, and stay tuned for more walks in the future.